This is Democracy Manifest. What is the charge? Eating a meal? A succulent Chinese meal? Get over there. Get your hand off my penis!
Hey, Ryan. Hi, this is Sarah Palin.
Ryan, Donald Trump Jr.
Harsh to win, see you. Hey, everybody, I want y'all to check out a fellow Marine Spawn-cast.
My name is Ted Nugent, and I got a call from my buddy Ryan F. Samuels, and he wants me to tell you that he's a working hard, playing all-American son of a who is celebrating God, family, country.
Welcome to the Ryan Samuels Show, one of the top political podcasts in the United States, where we have a healthy distrust for government and mainstream media. The Ryan Samuels Show is a raw, unfiltered look at American politics. Follow on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Rumble, and all podcast platforms. Here is your host, Ryan Samuels.
Hello, Patriots. So we have some news out there. Again, of course, the show I did last night, thank you guys for tuning in. It was banned everywhere except for Rumble. Even the video I posted on YouTube, which did not have any content on it. All it was a screen that said, watch this on YouTube. Watch this on Rumble, because YouTube does not allow this here. They removed that even. So this gentleman who did that horrible thing to his father in Pennsylvania, they are blocking all of it. I was on a Twitter space last night, and everybody was talking about how you can't even post his name on any social media, including Twitter, which is super concerning. Now, obviously, the guy is calling for violence, political violence, which I do not support. However, you do have the right to know what's going on. You do have the right to be informed of the world and what's in it. That's just basic, basic First Amendment rights, that we have the right to speak about it. And then, of course, well, it's a private company. Well, then why are all of them coming to this conclusion together at the same time? Well, why are all of them banning it at the same exact time? It doesn't make any sense. And the only thing that makes sense is that somebody else is pulling the strings, kind of like we saw with the Hunter laptop story, that it was just banned everywhere because somebody was pulling the strings on that. This is a different situation, I understand. However, banning things do not make them go away. They just make them more desirable. So, but that's enough about that. There is an incident where Michael Cassidy, he's a conservative. He ran for political office, I think, in Mississippi. And in Iowa, in the Iowa State Capitol building, they had put in a Satanic Temple monument that was put up by the Satanic Temple of the area, right? It's like a church. They exist. They're real. They're not just fictional and in your mind. They're out there. And, in the United States of America, you do have freedom of religion. So you can petition a government to, if they're going to place Christmas trees and things to celebrate Jesus' birthday, then other religions have the right to display their things for religion. Like the Jews, you'll see a menorah, and the Satanic Temple said, hey, no, we have the right to present this too. And Michael Cassidy took it upon himself to go in there and destroy it, and now he's being arrested for a hate crime. So let's watch the news of when the temple first went up and just kind of some of the reactions. Before we continue, make sure you hit that like button, follow this page. Don't forget to visit ryanfsamuels.com, pick up a copy of my new book, How to Climb the Corporate Ladder, get a personalized signed copy, and sign up for our newsletter.
If you are visiting the Iowa State House over the next couple of weeks, you will see this in the rotunda. It's a holiday display put up by the Satanic Temple. KCCI's Bo Bowman went to the State House today to find out more about it.
The supporters of this group say if there can be a Christmas tree here in the Capitol, then they can display this put on by the Iowa Satanic Temple.
We're going to really relish the opportunity to be represented in a public forum. We don't have a church on every street corner.
Lucian Greaves, co-founder of the Satanic Temple, says this satanic display is a symbol for their right of religious freedom. He says if you don't like it, don't look at it.
My feeling is that if people don't like our displays in public forums, they don't have to engage with them. They don't have to view them.
It's a very dark, evil force. And I truly hope people know how to battle that.
Shelley Flockhart from Dallas Center says she was shocked to see it at the Capitol.
Okay, come on in.
Flockhart organized a prayer group on Wednesday around the Christmas tree in the center of the rotunda to oppose the satanic display near the stairwell. She calls it dark and evil and says Christians should spiritually fight against it.
One, I hope people realize spiritual warfare is real, that there are evil, satanic forces that are trying to infiltrate our state.
I'm told the altar here will be on display at the State House for 14 days. At the State House, Bo Bowman, KCCI 8 News, Iowa's news leader.
By the way, the Satanic Temple says it is a federally recognized non-theistic group that uses satanic symbols as a way to convey its message. The temple's website says its work includes publicly confronting hate groups and lobbying for abortion rights. It says it does not believe in the existence of Satan or the supernatural.
So it's a political stunt, essentially. And they played, Michael Cassidy played right into their hands. So now he went in there, he bashed it, and now they're charging him with a hate crime. He played right into their hands. Obviously, this is a left-wing leaning group who put this in to mock Christianity and oppose it and played the system in order to bait people in. And here we are. Here we are. Now, you do have the right, if you are a part of a religion, to have it presented if they're presenting other religions in the state capitol or in any government building, if they are displaying other religion things. Now, there's a separation of church and state. And it should not be, in my opinion, that no state building should be part of any part of religion. They shouldn't be celebrating any religious holiday or any religious type event. Or it's nonsense. The state has no right in the business of religion or presenting a religion. You can be a religious person and be part of the government, but the government itself should not be recognizing any sort of religion, which is kind of truly how the founders thought it to be. And a lot of you might disagree with that, and we can have that discussion. But they played right into their hands. They're obviously you heard the news report that we just watched said that these people support abortion rights, and they go after hate groups, and they don't believe in Satan or the supernatural. So why put up this display inside the state capitol other than to bait Republicans in to do something stupid? And that's exactly what you got. And now Michael Cassidy's facing hate crime charges.
A Satanic Temple has set up a display inside the Iowa State House. It's the holiday season, and even secular government buildings display decorations for holidays that are rooted in religion, like Christmas trees and menorahs. For 14 days, the Satanic Temple has erected a display alongside these major religious symbols inside the rotunda of the Iowa State Capitol. Lucian Greaves, co-founder of the Satanic Temple, spoke to KCCI.
We're going to really relish the opportunity to be represented in a public forum. We don't have a church on every street corner.
Though the temple went through the correct administrative channels to present in the rotunda, the display is getting pushback.
One, I hope people realize spiritual warfare is real, that there are evil.
Well, that's basically the same video, just with suspenseful music. But they do have every right to be there, and I understand that people are upset. Hold on, I'm trying to find a video. All right, so here's Michael Cassidy talking about this incident on CBN News, and let's kind of hear his side of the story and what he has to say.
So, Michael, you have been in the headlines over the past few days after tearing down, essentially decapitating the Satanic Temple's symbol, this giant symbol that they placed in the Iowa State Capitol. Take us through what led you to take that action.
The state of Iowa put this satanic icon in the Iowa Capitol a couple of weeks ago. I don't know exactly when, but they put it up. I saw news of it on social media, and hopefully, like almost the entire country, I would hope, but perhaps not. When I saw it, I thought, how on earth can satanic icons be in the Capitol? And I thought, it's some kind of oversight, some little bureaucracy. They approved it, but nobody knew about it. And once people find out about it, they'll take it down, because how can you honor Satan in like they're doing? And so I saw on Wednesday that it had not been taken down, and I didn't know what the process was with Iowa, who the decision makers were, what arguments they were making, but I decided to get a plane ticket, go up to Iowa, and look at the thing myself. And I'll tell you what, whatever emotion you may have felt looking at it online, it's completely different when you are actually in the Capitol. You're next to the rotunda. I'm an American. I've been in the Navy for my entire adult life. I fought to protect the country, and it wasn't to protect Satan. We say, so help me God, not so help me Satan. And then being in the Capitol and looking at this statue, this icon, it became very clear to me that this could not stand. It could not. It was intolerable for it to be there. And so I did what I did. I kind of cleaned up afterward. There was some, debris, some garbage, really, that had gone outside of the little rectangle inside the Capitol that was allowed by the Capitol for them to be there. Put everything back in there so nobody would trip on a candle or something like that. Then I went back into the security terminal and said, hey, I'm back. And this is what I did. I'm turning myself in. And then
how did they react to you when you went in? Because most people wouldn't go and turn themselves in after that. What was the reaction to that?
It was kind of early in the morning. It was like 8:15 or so. I think it was kind of a sleepy, whatever, Wednesday, Thursday. And hardly anybody was even in the Capitol. I think it was I don't know if that's how it normally is. I don't know if it's in session or not, but it seemed kind of, sleepy. They were professional, but it was kind of laid back. And so I said, hey, that satanic icon, it's not there anymore. I said something like that. And they said, oh, okay. And I said, yeah, I'm turning myself in. I gave them my ID, my phone number, and I didn't know if they were the people the right people to talk to, but they were the best people to talk to, because there are no other cops that I saw. And they ended up calling a state trooper, or a couple of them, and eventually they came over. But they were, I don't know. I don't know if they were expecting it. They didn't seem to be expecting it, but.
And at that point, were you arrested and charged? Is that the point where that happened?
So I think there's some bad information that got put out by the media. I've seen it in a couple of different outlets. It never came from me. I know that I was never arrested. There's no shot. I was never fingerprinted or anything like that.
Because that's what multiple reports are saying, that you were arrested. So I was curious. I hadn't seen that.
No.
And I hadn't seen evidence of that. So you were not arrested. So what happened at that point then?
After the cops came over, they talked to me. They started talking to higher ups because there's a bit more than at play, I guess, here. And so I don't know exactly who they were speaking with, but after about 30 minutes or so of me being there in the Capitol, they said, "Hey, you're free to go." and they had my phone number. They said, hey, like, we'll either give you a call or we'll, if it's a few days later, then we'll send you some certified mail or some, I think that's what they said, if they decide to press charges, I think. And then sure enough, about 10 minutes after I left the Capitol, they gave me a call and they said, hey, can you come on back to the station and sign this paperwork just saying that, hey, here's the citation. And so, of course, I went back. I mean, I already turned myself in once. So, yeah, I'll go back. And they gave me the.
So, I mean, why did he do this and then turn himself in? Is this, I hate to say it, but is this a stunt to kind of get popular to run for election? Is this really a deep, morally rooted action? I don't really know. I mean, you're from Mississippi. You fly all the way to Iowa just to destroy this thing. And then the first thing you do is tell everybody what you did. I mean, you can talk about taking the moral high ground, but I mean, it's not your property. You went in there, you destroyed it. People do have freedom of religion. I don't like this statue. I don't think it should be there, but people have the right to freedom of religion. And if you can have your Christmas trees and, you know, your menorahs and all your other religious relics running through state capitals, then any religion can do it. You could put a Buddha in there. You could do whatever you want. This whole country was founded on freedom of religion. It goes back to, you know, the Protestant Reformation and the Mayflower, escaping religious persecution. That was the point of it. And it says, you know, that the Congress shall make no law establishing religion, respecting an establishment of religion. So why are we doing it with any religion? That's me. I understand that most of the audience is Christians. That's fine. That's okay. I am too. It doesn't, you know, take anything away from anybody if the government isn't recognizing your religion. Government has nothing to do with religion. But if, like I said previously, if you're going to have your stuff there, then they can have their stuff there. That's just the way it is. Like I said, I'm not here to tell you things that are popular or that you like. I'm here to tell you the truth. That's the truth.
The citation, and then I went on my merry way.
So reports are also stating it's fourth degree criminal mischief. Is that accurate? That's what the penalty.
That is what the citation is for. That is correct.
Okay. So what happens from here in terms of ramifications? And then we'll get into more of the theological issues here and why you took the action you did. What happens now? What penalties could you face as a result of this?
The maximum penalty is for that specific charge is, I believe, up to 1 year in jail and I think $2,500, $2,700, something like that in fines. That's the maximum penalty.
Which, I mean, they upgraded it to a hate crime now because he turned himself in, and then the obviously these political activists who did this want the most extreme punishment possible, so they pushed to get him charged with a hate crime. Even though when the left tears down statues of Thomas Jefferson or religious statues or breaks into graveyards and destroys religious statues, you know, whatever, they don't get charged with hate crimes. But because their activism, we get charged with hate crimes when the right decides to do the things that they're doing, which is why you should never get roped into it.
Was that your only question? Did you have a second question?
Yeah. No, that is my only question on that front. You know, it's interesting because you've ignited quite a debate, right? Even among Christians, you've got, you know, two sides of this. People who are saying, you know, people should be praising you for this and celebrating you because you have taken down a symbol that honestly shouldn't be there. Even if there's a holiday argument, it's interesting to note that the Satanists aren't. By the way, these Satanists, the Satanic Temple, is an atheist group. You know, technically, which is interesting, and that's a whole other conversation. But there's no Christmas celebration happening here, right? This is the time of year we celebrate Christmas, and so that symbol has nothing to do with Christmas. The other side will say, well, you know, we shouldn't be destroying property, we shouldn't do this, and, you know, you have to allow more free speech, not less, right? So how do you respond to that debate that you've ignited with this?
I think that it's the wrong debate to have, that it's extremely simple, that, there can be, we could talk about this for hours, for days. There are people that are much more intelligent than I am, much more well-versed in making good Christian, good legal arguments. But it really boils down to God is good and deserves praise, and Satan is evil and does not deserve praise. And it's not they're not equal. There is an example that I gave.
Yeah, but that's your opinion, dude. And I get it. I get it. I'm a Christian. I get it. That's your belief. Their belief is something different. And it is not your right to destroy or attack their beliefs. Just like it's not their right to destroy or attack our beliefs. I'm sorry, you're wrong. This situation couldn't be any more wrong. I don't like it. I really don't like it. I think it was done intentionally to antagonize Christians, which obviously it was when you look at who did it and why they did it. But they have the right to do that.
Earlier today, I think, was, if there was some, fake religious group that they call themselves a religion, and they decided that they wanted to honor ISIS or honor Osama bin Laden for 9/11, and they got a permit from a bureaucrat to put a display of the 6 foot, 8 foot tall Osama bin Laden inside a state capitol. Who's going to defend that? They're going to be, of course, there's always going to be somebody, but that doesn't mean that it's a good argument. That doesn't mean that we have to listen to it. That there's a lot of I think, misconceptions about what the Satanic Temple, what the devil is. The devil is bad, and it's not something that we should promote.
Well, and I think to make this point too, the Satanic Temple is an atheist organization that does not literally worship Satan, but that doesn't mean that putting a symbol of Satan, because there's still a form, the argument can be made that you are still endorsing, when you say hail Satan, even if you don't believe that Satan exists, if you're on that side of the Satanists, of course there are real Satanists out there who do worship Satan, unfortunately, but you're still giving credence and attention to Satan, and you're doing it in a public forum. And so, again, that's a totally different conversation. And you brought up an interesting example there. You also know, I'm sure, that there are people who are accusing you of all sorts of things. They're saying this is a PR stunt, that you went there knowing you were going to do this. And how do you respond to those people who would wage those accusations your way?
So I already said that, and I'm here to tell you, I usually tell you guys this, but I didn't watch this video. I typically do not watch the videos before I go live. I want to have a genuine reaction and a genuine response. I don't like to have prepared scripts and speeches. I'm going to say this, I'm going to say that. I want you to hear my genuine response. So that's my feeling on this situation. Let's hear what he has to say about it.
It's not I certainly saw this ahead of time and but I did not know, I did not have a full plan of what I was going to do. I didn't know if there was going to be security there around the icon. I didn't know if there were going to be politicians protesting. And there was no set plan. There was certainly an immense dislike that I had from seeing it online. But in terms of a PR stunt, I saw that Satanist leader say that another misconception that's out there that I want to make clear. But there's talk that I'm an active political candidate. I am not an active political candidate. I have no campaign for office. I have in the past, but there's no campaign for office. And that is, so that's not an accurate thing. And for the people that are saying, hey, you're doing this for some kind of gain, I'm risking when I made that decision in the Capitol, I knew that there was going to be potential penalties. I didn't know what the exact, charge was going to be, but I could imagine that, it could lead to jail, could lead to other, severe financial hardship. But it was the right thing to do. That we should not tolerate Satan, and so that's what I say to them.
And thank you for clarifying that too, because yes, I know you ran in 2022. I believe there have been people saying that you have an active campaign, which is not true. And so thank you for clarifying that. What happens now moving forward here? Because obviously you have these potential penalties. What are the next steps from authorities that you know of at this point?
There's a court date on December 29th. And again, I'm not a lawyer, so I may use the incorrect phrase for exactly the terminology of what's going to happen, but I think that's the initial arraignment, where we enter our plea. We may do that earlier. I'm talking with the lawyers, with counsel right now, about what the best plan is forward, and I'm certainly going to listen to their advice, but go with what's in my heart about what the right thing to do going forward is.
And as far as law, have you had law firms reaching out to you? I was curious about that. Religious liberty law firms. Have you had any of those groups reaching out, or have you had to kind of go out and get counsel on your own?
So I had a previous relationship with a lawyer, or a legal relationship with a lawyer that I knew from, had helped out some military service members in regards to the COVID-19 mandate for the military. And when I have had legal trouble, I reached out to those guys and I said, hey, this is one of the good guys. So I gave him a call, and then we certainly had a lot of people offer help, many pro bono, which has been a blessing. Right now, I know that I've got my own personal lawyer. He's not in Iowa though, so.
All right, looks like he's just talking about his legal representation now, but it was criminal mischief, but now it is a hate crime. So it's going to have a little bit more penalties to it. So let's look up the hate crime. Is that it? Did that just pop up? Let's look up the Iowa hate crime. Let me zoom in on this, and we'll get this. We'll take a look at this. But now they've upgraded it, and he didn't really achieve anything. I don't know what he was trying to achieve. Violation of individual rights, hate crime. Hate crime means one of the following public offenses offenses when committed against a person or a person's property because of their race, color, religion, ancestry, national origin, political affiliation, sex, sexual orientation, age, disability, or the person's association with a person of a certain race, color, religion, ancestry, national origin, political affiliation, sex, sexual orientation, age, or disability. So now this would fall under this section 3 here of criminal mischief in violation of individuals' rights under section 716 alpha. Now that's exactly what happened. They upgraded it because it is criminal mischief, but the criminal mischief was done because you don't like the quote unquote religious entity. Now he made a point about, well, somebody can create any religion and put it in the Capitol. I mean, that's kind of how America works. If you want to worship a ham sandwich, you can worship a ham sandwich. They have to leave you alone. That's like ultimate freedom. And I get, we don't agree with it. It's kind of like free speech. The free speech that is protected is the speech that nobody wants to hear. This is the equivalent of stopping speech you don't like, is stopping a religious belief you don't like, or an anti-religious belief you don't like. This is the exact opposite. And, in my opinion, Michael Cassidy is on the wrong side of history. And he may feel vindicated. He may feel good in the eyes of his public and his religion and his God, and that's fine. That's okay. But there are consequences for that. And, on the other side of the table, there should be consequences for when somebody damages a Christmas tree or a crucifix or, whatever, because they don't like Christianity. And that's exactly how America should work. And when we cross into the other side of trying to stop people from doing what they want to do, then we're violating their rights. And we can't have it both ways. We cannot have our cake and eat it too. Thank you very much for tuning in. This is the Ryan Samuel Show. Don't forget to hit the like, share, and subscribe button, and we will catch you next time.
Thanks for tuning in to the Ryan Samuel Show. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.